shocking revelations has surfaced of surrounding from a Facebook group named Fantasi Sedara. This group has been viral for this past few weeks or months in Indonesia especially. It was a shocking news for all of us, especially Indonesia citizens, and for many families and many societies in Indonesia. So the Facebook group named Fantasi Sedara is contain incest theme, pornographic content, including disturbing images and videos involving children. At its peak, the group had over 32,000 members and later changed its name to Suka Duka in a time to avoid detection. So this case is included many forms of verbal sexual children abuse and children exploitation. For the first one is verbal harassment through posts and comments expressing sexual fantasies about children and relatives. So the member of this group has a fantasies about their incest or their family members or even their own children, to sexualize them and make them an object for their own sexual disorientation. And then visual abuse, they taking a picture and share to the Facebook group for just pleasure, for their enlightenment and enjoyment, sharing pornographic images and videos, and then digital distribution, selling illegal content via Facebook and Telegram.
Pedophilic elements, some suspects including a man identified as MS, create child pornography using his own child. These acts were recorded using smartphones and shared within the group. Forms of immorality, the group not only shared immoral content but also normalized incest through discussions, enable sexual exploitation by parents or relatives, and monetize child pornography for profit. Impact on mental health. Victims suffer from severe psychological trauma. Public anxiety is growing due to the unchecked spread of divine content. Children who accidentally encounter such material face lasting emotional harm.
Perpetrators and the victims. So I would like to show to you the initial of the perpetrators and the victims. So the first one is MR, 20 years old, the admin from Bandung, is west of Java. And then we have a DK, MS, MG, and MA and KA from various regions from Indonesia. Regions of Indonesia, many people join this group, and these are the most the actor of these fantasies. And then the victims include children, and some of whom were directly abused and filmed without their permission. And then spread and supporters. The group maintain high activity levels with regular posts and then discussions and illegal trades. Some users sold their child pornography via Telegram and other encrypted platforms. And then the timeline of the case. For August 2024, group founded by MR, I mentioned earlier, for 20 years old, and then May 14, 2025, case went viral, drawing public outrage. Many people is angry at them. And then at May 15, 2025, the group was officially removed from Facebook because of many people reporting that group, and then the case is finally surfaced. And then in May 17 until 20, 2025, all 6 suspects were arrested across Indonesia. So the police of Indonesia is getting their hands into these perpetrators and arrest them immediately. And then when it happened online, in Facebook, and over 144 Telegram groups were used. And then the offline one, several children were abused in their own homes. So those perpetrators abused their own children in their homes and taking their pictures and videos of child pornography. And then motive and spread. The motive is sexual gratification and profit. So they take a profit from this, I don't know what to say anymore, from these fantasies. So they keep taking profits of trades, of photos and videos. And then the factors, lack of content moderation, growing divine online behavior, silence, victims were manipulated, threatened or emotionally controlled into staying quiet, and they cannot speak up. And then authorities in charge. So the case is first handled by the Indonesian Cybercrime Unit, or people of Indonesia call it Bareskrim. So that this one is the part of Indonesian Police Department of Cyber Security and Cyber Online Security, sorry. And then the Metro Jaya Police, the Police of Indonesia, and then the Ministry of Communication and Information, or the people of Indonesia call it Kominfo. So this department has a job to watch the internet of Indonesia. And then they conducted arrests and content takedown and block all related digital groups. So the group was all cancelled, and the people who are making it was arrested. And then the next one is the legal consequences. Suspects are charged under the law of Indonesia, that is ITE law. So that is a law that contains the laws of the internet in Indonesia. And then the pornography law and child protection law. So they have 3 charges under their name. Punishment may include up to 50 years in prison and fines reaching in 6 billion or 375,000 US dollars. And then the mental health impact. The victim will have a long-term trauma, of course, depression and loss of trust, especially from their own parent. And then the society heightened fear of digital platform among parents and educators. It's so fatal about this case. And then the prevention effort. So in the future, maybe we can tolerate this behavior, and to prevent future cases like this again, the first one, we must have a public education on child protection and digital ethics is vital. And then the platform must enhance the content moderation, the content violation from the classification of age. And then the communities must be empowered to report suspicious or harmful online behavior. So this case is a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk online. As authorities continue their crackdown, society must stay vigilant to protect our children and reclaim digital spaces for good. The internet has a positive impact in our lives, but it also came with the negative impact. For the example of these cases. So, my name is Muhammad Hafizatullah, and thank you.